Three biggest mistakes that professionals make when trying to lose body fat. It is so simple, yet we tend to make it complex. Stay with me now because we're not only going to go over the mistakes, but how to improve them. Boom! Big edit drama, boom! So, seriously though, the three biggest mistakes are too big of changes is number one. Not exercising for 10 years and then all of a sudden saying, I'm gonna run for 5 miles. No can do. Or even walking 5 miles. Just put it at something simple, like I'm going to walk for 5 minutes every day. That is a remarkable, doable change. It's a SMART goal. It's specific, it's measurable, right? Just specific, you're walking, doing it for just 5 minutes, and you're doing it every day. Super measurable. It's attainable because it's pretty easy for most people to walk 5 minutes a day. If that's hard for you, you could do the 1 minute. Is great for the first week or two just to create a habit change, because changing our habit and transitioning is one of the most challenging aspects. We need to change our identity from someone who doesn't walk to someone who does walk, so it's a little challenging to be able to make that step, pun intended. Now, that is such a simple, huge change that can be monumentous, because once you start walking for 5 minutes a day, changing that to 7, then 10, then 12, then 18, then 28, that only takes a matter of 2 months if you change every week. It's compounding. It's huge. And once you get to an hour of walking every day, especially if you time it out to walk before you eat. Walk before you break your fast in the morning. Number one, you're going to get it done with. There's going to be no excuses. Number two, you're going to feel huge bursts of energy. Number three, you're going to burn up all of your usable glucose or sugar in the blood that some of us, if we haven't been exercising for a while, our bodies aren't working that efficiently to be able to use the sugar in the blood. Hence the rise of diabetes, which is like 2/3 of the population is at risk of diabetes. So this is huge diabetes prevention, to simply go for a walk for just 5 minutes every day. Boom. That is number one. Again, not too big, not 5 miles, just 5 minutes. So it's attainable. So it's realistic. And it's time bound that you're going to increase, because training without progressive overload, meaning do a little more than you could do before, but not too much, is the best way and really the only way to improve your cardiovascular health or your wellness, whether it's strength or cardiovascular endurance. Right now, we're focusing on cardiovascular endurance, working the heart. With all of these benefits, how can you not feel like it? Thinking, my food's gonna taste better. Right when I eat after I walk, I'm gonna feel better. I'm gonna look better. I'm gonna think better, because the studies about how we think when we activate blood flow and move before we eat or before we study with students and with professionals alike, that productivity is through the roof. That's why we have things like results only work environment with Google, and they're allowed to take rests and be active and take naps. This is for more productivity, and it's a simple hack. Do less, not more. Not big changes, but small incremental changes. We went over that SMART goal, right? Specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, time-bound. Let's add an S to that for senses, so you can feel it, so it moves you, to see it, to hear it, to smell it, to taste it, to sense it with all of your senses, so you could feel that goal move you to feel like doing the action that gets you to the goal. Does that make sense? You're going to become the person that does the thing because you feel like it, because you think about that big reward. The reward of change must be greater than the cost of your comfort changing, right? Where you're at now, it's comfortable. Where you're going must be, in your mind, bigger than the change to get there, because that change is always transition, and transition, it can always be challenging. Yet if we reframe it in our mind for all the benefits instead of the challenges or the letting go of what was the past, then you are in for an easy ride, just about effortless. Number 2 is too many changes. Not just too big of changes is number 1, but too many changes. No more than 3. If you are making changes, no more than 3. So number 1 is going for a 5-minute walk. Number 2, maybe drinking water before that 5-minute walk. That's it. Drinking 8 ounces and then moving up to 16 ounces in week number 2 or 3. And then you could move up to 3 cups, or maybe have water throughout the day. Once you create a standard for yourself that it is easy and doable, and it's become a habit in the morning to drink the water and do the walk, then you could add on to have more water in the midday. Have another 16 ounces in the middle of the day. And it becomes such a habit. Either you regularly are drinking water right when you wake up and right at noon and maybe at 3 or 5, or you just drink water throughout the day. Either one is awesome. It's about creating that habit change so it happens naturally. So no more than 3 changes. If that's number 1, you're walking, and number 2 is drinking water. Number 3 could be eating water. How do you eat water? You don't just chew your water when you're drinking it, which is awesome to do. You also eat fruit and vegetable, right? And that brings us to number 3. The 3 biggest mistakes busy professionals make when trying to lose fat is number 1, too big of changes. Number 2, too many changes. And number 3 is a focus on protein instead of a focus on foods, specifically fruits and vegetables. More people die from lack of fruits and vegetables than almost any other cause nutritionally. Millions of people. Most people in America are getting too much protein, according to many studies, if you look this up. And most Americans are not eating enough fruits and vegetables. So focusing on protein, especially that's not really a food. If you say, maybe I'm going to switch my eating of hamburgers to fish or chicken, that may be a transition in the right direction. Or maybe you're just not having as much or maybe you're just measuring it out to see how much you're having without adding grief or drama to it, but happily appreciating with awareness how much you're having, weighing it out. 4 ounces. This doesn't have to be every time. It's just to understand what a portion is. Because if you've never done it, then you don't understand how much you're eating every time, nor do you understand how much protein is enough. Because too much protein equals what? If you have too many calories of protein, what will happen? If you have excess of protein calories, what will happen? If you have excess calories, what will happen? That's an easy one. I think you know this. If you have excess calories, what will happen? You will gain fat if you're not working out, right? Unless you're really training hard, you're going to gain body fat. The only way you gain muscle tissue is to do what? Exercise with excess calories that usually are beneficial to be protein, but the truth is we need very little protein. What most athletes need more of when they're training, even to gain muscle tissue, is carbohydrates, because carbohydrates fuel our energy. They are our body's number one choice for energy. For some reason, a lot of people skip this few pages in the textbook and make up their own theories about not eating carbohydrates and how good it is for them, and some random studies that are on short-term behavior. When we look at long-term behavior of eating fruits and vegetables versus high amounts of protein, we see longevity on the side of fruits and vegetables. It's not so complicated. You probably don't have to measure everything out. You probably will do best just focusing more on fruits and vegetables instead of more protein, because odds are you get enough protein. You could put your foods in a calorie calculator, such as FitDay, or what was my favorite one, Chronometer, and you could put it's free, you could put all of your food in there and see how many calories you get every day and if you get enough protein, and then if you get excess calories, and then if you get excess protein. You may not necessarily need excess protein, especially if you're not training. If you are training and you think you need excess protein, you could easily see how much more you need. It's recommended to be about 1.6 to 1.8 grams per kilogram of the body, which translates to less than your body weight, right? So a common bodybuilder myth when you look at nutrition, and many of them will admit this, they just want to make sure they have enough. And many bodybuilders are breaking many rules by taking enhancement agents such as steroids. So they might not be the best example to follow, even though they get low body fat percentage. So that's why many people follow the bodybuilder myths of eating more protein. But really, not many people, I think, want to look like a bodybuilder. They just want to lose body fat quickly. And you could do that, the best way is through a calorie deficit. And the easiest way to do that without being hungry all the time, lethargic and tired, is to eat more fruits and vegetables. I know eating more protein works for many people because they're probably focusing on eating less super refined foods and less fried foods and less carbohydrates, which makes it so they have less calories. Instead of torturing yourself, eat more fruits and vegetables, eat smaller amounts of meat, should be no bigger than the size of your hand, once a day. Eat more beans, more legumes like black beans, red beans, lentils. These things are for super health and longevity, not just a quick fad diet to lose weight. These are 3 things that will change the game for you. If you stop trying to make too big of goals and you make smaller changes, not just smaller goals, because you could have big goals, but the changes, you're focusing on just 3 at a time, not too big and not too many, right? If there's too big or too many, that's 2 of the mistakes. The third one is focusing on protein. So from now on, you're going to make smaller changes that are easy, doable, attainable, and realistic using SMART goals. Number 2, you're not going to make many changes. You're just going to do 3 at a time until they become a habit, and then you can make 3 more changes. You're focusing on creating habits, not just daily to-do lists. Number 3, focus on fruit, not on protein, because you're probably getting more than enough. Speaking as a doctorate of nutrition and a master's of nutrition and studying nutrition for for 3 decades helping transform many people's lives. If you're ready to transform your life, and you know you could use a mentor, because mentors and coaches get us to the next level exponentially quicker. They save us time, money, and energy with a system. System means saving yourself time, money, and energy. If you're ready for the best coach in wellness to provide therapy, white glove treatment, to coach you every day to figure out what beliefs, emotions, and thoughts are stopping you, and to easily, as a professional, drop 15 to 25 pounds in 90 days without a gym, without a diet or drugs, then give me a link. You could DM me on any of my social media. I'm Dr. Keith J. Lopez, or go to ogfit.com and send me a message. Remember, we are ready to transform. Keep on watching, hit subscribe. Love you. Have the greatest day of your life.